folks, this is a debut video here. Got this MF65 that I purchased about a year ago, well, last fall I guess it was, and so it's been in here over the winter, and it's a good tractor, but it's been a bit problematic since I've had it, and I've had it over the winter, so I've been doing tune-ups and different things, but now the weather's starting to change, and of course produces a little bit more problems, and so I'm just doing this video to reach out to see what others think about the state of this thing. Currently what's going on is you know, I was attempting to adjust the carburetor. There was a real rich fuel smell coming out of the exhaust, and it's an underslung exhaust, and so I was getting fumigated as I was doing various work, grading the driveway, etc. So I was trying to lean out the mixture a bit. In the process, you know, now that the weather's changed, I think the carburetor needs a different air flow, and so I'm just trying to get the carburetor correct. But also I was having a bit of weak spark, and I've checked, you know, I've done everything from, I've replaced the wires, I've replaced the cap, the points, the condenser, the rotor, spark plugs, and it continues to foul fairly easily, and so I'm thinking that it's probably something to do with the rich mixture. So I'm attempting to fix that, but maybe you guys can help. What I'm going to do right now, I had it fired up yesterday, it was running fine, and then as soon as it starts to warm up, it starts to cough, sputter, and stall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the plugs out, clean them off, make sure they're not wet with gas, and then I'm going to lean out the main jet on the carburetor back to the factory settings that are in my manual, which is 1 1/4 turn for the main jet, 1 1/4 turn for the idle air mixture. I was attempting to try a Rachel Gingell setup where she's running on the 9 ends and stuff. It's the same Marvell Schabler carburetor, but she's doing 1 turn open for the air idle mixture and 2 turns open for the main jet. And I tried that and it ran, but now I'm running into this fouling problem, and so I'm gonna do it and clean up on it and try to start it again today and see what happens. Okay guys, I just pulled number 1 plug out there, and you can see there's a bit of black soot on there, which concerns me a little bit, but for the most part I think it's okay. I mean, that white part on the electrode there, it seems pretty white still, so I think it's going to be okay. This has been sitting overnight, this tractor, so there's not a lot of gas on it. I haven't turned it over yet. Anyway, I'm just going to clean these up and put them back in and adjust that carburetor. But if you have any comments on how that spark plug looks to you, whether that's normal or fouling a bit, let me know. Alright, I just pulled plug number 2 out, and it looks, you know, a lot worse. So, like that basically looks fouled. Again, let me know what you guys think, but I think I might just swap this one out, try a different one. So that plug there looks pretty clean, so I didn't have to do a whole lot to that. So this is the last one. I'm just going to tighten that up. And then yesterday when I was messing around, I put on the old condenser just to see if that made any difference, and it fired up and ran. But last night I was looking around and trying to figure out how to test those condensers, and did that, and it seems like the new one that came with my new plugs is absolutely fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one back on right now before I close this cap up. Okay, what I think I'm going to do now is just check the gap and spark. I've gapped this thing a couple of times. I know the gap should be good, but I want to make sure we've got spark, so I'm actually going to turn the key on and see if we got spark here. Now, just before I check the spark, I'm going to lean out this carburetor with the main jet here. Now, those of you who don't know, the idea is to close it all the way until it's tight. Don't reef on it, and then my book says 1¼ turns. I'm going to just slightly over 1 turn. I've got my air mixture at about 1 turn, so I'm just gonna regulate the fuel that way before I start turning the engine over. Maybe that'll help reduce any gas getting in that doesn't get burned on the plugs there. Okay, key on. Give her some, see if there's some spark there. Looks like we got lots of spark there, so I'm going to go ahead and put that cap back on and see if we can get this thing rolling. Okay, we're going to attempt to start this thing up. Turn the fuel on. 2 turns. Throttle halfway, choke. That's good news. I'm just going to film it here and see if it does that same thing where it warms up and then doesn't idle so hot. So I've got 1¼ on the carburetor. See if it warms up okay. range somewhere. I'm going to let it warm up a bit more, and then I'm going to check the throttle response. Okay, we're just in the green on the water temperature gauge now, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some throttle and see what happens. You know, testing the throttle, you basically have it half, and then you abruptly go to wide open, full throttle, just to see what the response is. So, sounds like the engine's skipping a little bit. I think that might be the muffler. There's obviously something going on with the exhaust. I've seen a couple other people have those problems. Anyway, let's just check the throttle response quickly. So you heard that. It didn't really cough or anything, but it's a bit delayed, slightly delayed. So I'm not sure what to do. Do I open up the needle a bit more? Likely that's what we do, but maybe you guys can comment if you have more experience. Right down to idle now. Sounds pretty good. You know, in the book they say to idle it down to 450, 500, but this tractor doesn't like that at all. Right now it's idling about 800 on the gauge, and it seems to prefer that, but you can tell it's real. I don't even like idling it that low. When I'm running it around, it just feels like it's going to stall all the time, so feel free to comment on that as well. Crack that needle valve, the main jet, open just a hair to see if that would help this throttle response. It's not too bad. I'm going to leave it there because I'm happy with the fact that it's actually running. So I'm just going to leave it there. One last thing I'll put on this video is something going on with the PTO shaft, and it won't switch into gear. Yesterday I adjusted the clutch pedal linkage, and I just want to see if that works. Well, it actually engaged today into engine speed. Yesterday I couldn't get it into engine speed, wouldn't switch into gear there, but it would go into ground speed. Today I actually got it into engine speed, but now it won't stop when I put in the clutch, so I think we need some more adjustment. So this here is your clutch linkage clevis and pin, and in the manual it says that if you shorten it, it should allow the PTO to stop at about when the clutch pedal is about 1 inch from the plate, the step plate. Now I've got it about as short as it's going to get. I don't know if I can do any more, but I'll see if we can adjust that a bit more. Okay, I adjusted that clevis pin. I had to fiddle with it back and forth a little bit, but I think I got it as close as it's going to get. It is shifting into engine speed, and the clutch does disengage it. So I'll just test that for you. Not without a little bit of grinding, but I think the PTO on this particular tractor hasn't been used in a long time, so I think maybe that was one of the issues. Anyway, you can see that you shift it, turns on, but the pedal itself is not disengaging the PTO. You basically have to shift it out of gear to get it out. So maybe that just means it needs a few hours on a brush hog or something just to loosen it up, but I'm happy it's shifting, so I'm going to leave it at that. As you can hear, the engine is still running. Sounds good after all that spark plug, needle jet cleanup. I'm happy with it. I'm going to shut it down and take peace of mind that it's actually running and might do a job when I need it to. So thanks again, and yeah, let me know if you guys have recommendations.